like this is all leading up to Saturday, where we're going to see the top 6 from these qualifiers as well as the top 6 from the qualifiers on Friday duke it out in a 12 squad lobby for all the glory of the training grounds. But focused on the glory tonight, Twin, we are into game 6. We just looked at that 6th place spot. So it's going to be up to Help. It's going to be up to R&B, and it's going to be up to Zoe here to find their game. They need a big showing to move themselves up and make it through to Saturday.
Doesn't matter who they've beaten in the last games. It matters who do they beat this game. And I don't know if I missed some there, but you've got to wonder, with Help sitting in 6th place, I'm not sure if they're aware, are they going to rat it out? Are they going to run? Are they going to play it safe? Or do they think one squad wipe is all we really need to get there? I'm so curious what their strategies are looking like, as we already have Motec going down to the lasers, I'm going to imagine.
No, it doesn't count, as he's going to miss out on a tiny bit of XP. No problem here, though. Nice machine drop. Going to look for these early armors for the side of Squaw. And Zoe here finding their way to a little bit of like... I was trying to pull up the map if you could, Luna, one more sec. Okay, they do have plenty of space kind of on the north side. So you mentioned kind of what is the play, Twin. I think finding an angle where if you do get pressured, you know you have space to play out, right? So if you pay attention to where the path, the drop path is, like when the game starts, kind of finding an angle on the edge of that path and knowing that to the north, there are basically going to be no teams. Probably kind of what Zoe is thinking here.
And I like that positioning from them. They get all these camps, all this gold, all these resources to really pull out their sleeping bags and tents as they camp out their positioning. Conversely, though, Help has all the south going their way, but unfortunately, the circle's not going to close there. So they're more likely to run into another team, as they're surrounded by 4 others who there's a good distance in between them, but you're more likely to see them. So Help has to play out of their minds if they do run into these teams, because placement could be enough to ruin it for them. And somebody has a Blinkstone already. Ooh, a member of R&B.
Yeah, so nice exotic secure here for the side of R&B. It looks like pretty much uncontested. We didn't see anyone else kind of going for that Blink, so not a crazy amount of value on the Ghost. I would like to see that traded over to the Kingpin, but we will see in the end what they end up doing with that. BBC down here, I think starting on the Cold Fang play, or the... I think there was another team Cold Fang, or did these guys start Cold Fang? I saw someone down there. It might have been BBL and Cold Fang. I think BBL actually started Cold Fang. These guys start up to the left of them. But are going to get this early relic by, have the 6. We see GPS had a nice start with that level 7. So look to GPS here to sort of force the issue with ultis online.
Taking a look at this. Yeah, this is definitely the game where everybody kind of sees the writing on the wall. We need to secure our positioning. So I'm not surprised that we're seeing a slower, much more spread out scenario. Shogunate is gonna have to travel quite a bit to the north to get out of that. They're actually playing in the storm along with our dark green, our BBL team. But I'm loving what I'm seeing here. Relics are secured. Grips getting secured. Are they back into a base camp? They have to be back into a base camp, right? They are. Okay.
Heading back to that Ion angle, as we do see Help on their Sky Sharks here, looking for an angle to the north, and one of our other squads, Zoe up there as well. So, and R&B, all 3 of our kind of, you know, squads vying for 6 positioned around here. Koba, as we see Help looking for their relic buy. Before we get the turn over to Knight here in 20 seconds. And again, plenty of space to play for to the north here. And no one going for this Dawn cap, so golds are going to be waiting up here.
Credit to Help for actually that brilliant rotation using the Sky Sharks. Because like I said, they were not in a good spot. And instead, they're doing their purchases in Kobas. Surely they think, or they see the map that the golds are still there. I don't know though, but yeah, everybody taking it patient, but what a way to dodge all those teams and get your build online. And now we're just taking a peek here. I'm trying to guess where... I wonder if we're going to end towards a Koba's end game. actually,
Dude,
because
Koba endgame with Bullet Train is peak SUPERVIVE, bro.
it's so fun. Probably not, as it looks like everything's moving a little more towards the south of the circle we do have right here. We do have Zoe running, though, into BBC. BBC able to drop Proxy, stacking up their CC. They've got their level 7s online, and the sacrifice goes to you, Oath, as BBC picks up 2, and now Zoe, who did not need this, has 1 remaining and is going to have to figure something out. They're going to be able to back to base camp, though, for a rotation to a res beacon.
Yeah, I didn't quite see what happened at the beginning of the fight. It looked like almost Zoe pushed in without vision and was caught off guard by BBC. I think Kingpin Slam comes through, they delete Proxy, and in the end, it's going to put Zoe on the back foot right away. We did see Saros get out to north. They are going to be okay. Help moving their way to the north here, kind of has Shards of Fate all themselves going to grab that discount sigil, and we do see finally another team moving up to those golds. R&B on the continued kind of farm here, but we do have a level, day 2 in effect with level 9s in play now.
And we have BBL versus Squad, 2 of our stronger teams in this lobby, staring each other down. Here comes a massive stun with the staff on the Wukong, standing inside of a Ghost Ult, and the Tonk goes out, does not hit anybody. New Waiko hurting, battered, bruised, dropped into a wisp, and Squaw having to run and fly to the hills. They get on top of the Sky Shark, but it's gonna blow! And Fluffion trying to use the blast from that to catch up, but was unable to get the angle, and now it's pod racing versus pod racing as Motek is trying to run away.
Yeah, Motek doing his best here to live. I have to call out that Bebo Tonk. It was just too beautiful for the side of BBL. Lots of pressure here. They are going to finally get the kill in the end, but that Tonk, it ignores the Z-axis, so it'll hit anything as high as it can go, anything as low as it can go. We literally saw Jewel get Tonked out of her ultimate right there. So, and putting her just instantly back on the ground. They're able to follow up for that kill. Beautiful. We see multi-way Sky Shark action here as Shogunate down to just 1. Is that what I just saw? Is that last member?
They fought GPS and GPS won, and now BBC also chasing them out with a fresh Sky Shark. So Tips Out has to be running. Oh, they are running low on gas. I forgot we could see that from the spectator.
BBC wants this, bro. They get these guys out of my lobby.
Yes.
We want Shogunate out of here, bro.
And this is their chance, and they get it. Dreams do come true. Santa got my letter. Shogunate, your #1 ranked team, is out in 8th place.
We do see them maybe opting for kind of a for fun game, because we see Tips Out shifting from the Shiv to the Wukong. We see a Barrico on the Void instead of the Brawl. So a little bit of a mix up for them, having a little bit of fun in the end. It's going to result in 8th place. They've had plenty of fun the last few games, though. Kind of getting a lot of kills through. So I'm sure they're going to be just fine with their performance today. As we see GPS, nice Dragon Staff Slam over the top. Ulti iframe on the Kingpin Slam. Wukong going crazy. Dumb Kiss deleting Jay on his lonesome while the rest of GPS follows up onto R&B. Caverzo really needs to live here. Beautiful Napalm. It's not going to be enough against the Wukong. In the end, Dumb Kiss finds the second, and they are out. So really rough placement here, Twin. For one of our squads looking to go 6th.
Man, R&B is out of contention. This ends their Moonlit Battlegrounds Training Grounds series. Now, Willamander, help. You're another team. You need to make something happen here. If you go out, you know everybody else is going to be really happy, particularly Zoe. So Atomic, I know you want to stick around and play, but I think Atomic has to just run and play placement here, and it looks like they're not going to be chased after by GPS, and they are able to get the res up. But here comes GPS on the assault.
Yeah, we do see, Dumb Kiss wielding this Wukong very effectively, looking very impressive with these R&Bs connecting, across the course of the day. Very, kind of consistent crowd control for GPS to follow up on. And it's basically looking, their tempo this game has been exceptional. We saw them on like a lightning fast level 7 off of that like Prisma drop. And now kind of riding that tempo into day 3 here, kind of the opposite of tempo. Zoe on the bush play, looking for an opportunity for a fight, but not a ton of teams kind of posturing around them. And the price here, Twin, is the longer you wait, the more, kind of farm you're giving up.
Yeah, look at them. Level 8s compared to level 10s on other teams right now. Level 11 for Dumpkiss. who's getting it. Plus, they're going to get to the back of the soul. So I respect the play that they've made the call. We're going for placement, and they got to hope that everybody else eliminates them first. But if they do get down to the 5 teams in the end circle, they're going to be the low-hanging fruit, the easy pick'ems that other teams are going to be staring at. As Squaw has 2 members of Help down. Help needs to stay alive. It's happening off screen right now. And it looks like it's just Pisces Paladin, but Squaw continuing the pursuit. And this could be huge for Zoe, who's playing the long game. And Pisces Paladin hurt, battered down goes Help. And Zoe has an opportunity here.
So R&B, Help, GG's, like beautiful showing from you guys, kind of fighting from behind throughout the course of the day. And like we've seen some really cool fights, you know, go your guys' way across the day. So despite getting kind of knocked out here, GG's, really fun performance to watch, and hopefully coming away with a lot of lessons to take into the future. So
we do have an opportunity though, because Help was in 6th, Zoe is in 7th. So I think they were in 7th or 8th, but they have a chance to sneak into 6th, depending on if Help was able to do anything. So it's all about placement for them, as BBL ends up getting hit with Grapthar's hammer, but here comes GPS with a third party on to a very damaged Squaw. Squaw, just the lone jewel caught out, and they're able to ulti out, but they ulti in to Schmoogler, who doesn't miss those.
That was a nice shot from Schmoogler, just instantly flicking on that shift there. He's going to take out Yoisko. So Squaw on the back foot, but do have a member left looking to recover. BBL kind of playing to north here. This GPS tempo this game is actually crazy. This level advantage, and they're constantly hunting kills. Now we see Rewinder on the Bebo, as well as the Blinkstone grabbed from R&B, getting that on Dumpkiss. Very, very powerful exotic for the Wukong to wield.
Yeah, those dunks are already terrifying as is. Being able to shift through them to get that little extra range than you would think. And now you have Blink on top of that. Yes, GPS, who was our Game 1 winners, who's the overall first seed of this event, is looking really strong in this final game. Squaw camping out in a brush, and here's another exotic, plus a free Rumels if they want it, but no Mercury. I don't see them picking it up.
And something happened with Dylan there as he dies to World. Dumpkiss kind of taunting him there as he sees the Wisp roll into Storm. I'm not sure what happened to Dylan there, but now GPS got to be a little careful as BBC positioned to the north. Even though Squaw only has 2 at the moment, they definitely pose a threat to the south. And our other 2 squads, I think Zoe still split up to the top right here. Hopefully looking to like farm and bide their time and play that placement. If I'm not mistaken, Zoe was 9 points behind.
That sounds right.
So definitely need to go for higher placement where they're at right now.
GPS coming in with the dunk to start us, and the invulnerable 6-way spinning staff of Dumpkiss. Here comes the dunk, but Yokoi just able to ulti out and break some ankles of GPS, who can't find their way to this Jewel, and Jewel somehow able to dodge their way to victory. And I don't think you're going to be able to get that off by the time you go into the storm. Nope.
Yeah, so Yoiko, nice jukes there on the Jewel, going to find the bush. Live another day. Dylan's still alive for Squaw, so Squaw certainly not out of it yet here. In match 6, Zoe as well looking. I really like this. Zoe giving up their bush play to find these levels. This is what you need to do to compete in this lobby, and they need to be ready for BBC here. But if they can get this Guardian kill through, they're going to be in a decent spot. Level 13s now. Zoe looking strong.
Looking strong, backs to the Storm, trying to rotate around, but they're going to rotate into a whole nother team. I like that hook attempt, and Proxy just strictly playing life. They don't want to fight. They want to survive, and I don't know if that's going to work out, because check this out. They've run into every other team in the lobby. Proxy with a big punch, and Zoe ends up going out to the Train! Train is on board, and Train decides the fate. Who is going to take it home with 6th place? The points are going to tell.
Dude, it's going to be so close, I think, for that 6th place spot. I'm actually really not sure with Zoe going out at 5th there. We saw them like just really not wanting to be forced into a fight. I think, afraid of getting thirded there. But in the end, that's exactly what happens, is they try to kind of kite away from that fight and just get a little bit of space, like especially with that Storm moving in, really nowhere to go. Train Res looking to come through for Dylan, is going to get stunned into the Storm, takes a bit of Storm damage. Finds his way through the ring. He's going to live for a little bit longer here. Finds his way back to Yueko.
That's one of those tough spots because they were so afraid of other teams or that fight, and they were in a rough spot anyways, but it looks like the answer was you had to push your way in, like BBL is pushing into Squaw. Third party on the scene, though, from GPS. GPS doing massive damage as they tonk into GPS, and all of a sudden a BBL member out by their lonesome, having to run away, does go down. Looks like the Bebo dropped, and now BBL down a member, sets their sights on this crown that's in the hands of Squaw.
So this is all the marbles for Squaw here. 50 seconds on crown. BBC want this, and so do BBL, and they find it. Fluffy on Dragon Staff Slam procs the crown. BBL back to full force now as Squaw down to just Yueko. Grabs an empty Sky Shark, instantly bails on it. Is still alive though. BBC continuing the violence. Huge Abyssal Breaker with the napalm, putting Vlad Villain into the wisp and the punch into the wall to follow. Going crazy here for BBC. Very strong fight. Gonna put BBL just on Fluffyon. Has to ult. I frame that out up to the top of the tree, looking to shift out. Big schmooze from Fluffyon. Has to dodge the laser. Whoa, and GPS with the third.
The dunk from top rope out of nowhere, and Squaw able to get back up in spite of the 1 HP, but the tonk there that we saw on BBC into BBL to really just stop the Oath from playing, or BBL onto BBC, was beautiful, but how well played from both teams there, and GPS once again take the opportunity as the blink narrowly misses, but now it's the sole survivors of the double BBs, the hook, the dunk, the damage, and who's gonna get it? That dunk doesn't count as enough right there, and I like this as they're both fighting tooth and nail for fourth place. Pajama game. Dodging everything. I like the squid, but you take so much, and the dunk is there. And are you gonna get it? One more hit, and BBC takes it. You may go out right here, but hold your head high as you were the one to eliminate the other double B team.
Pajama Game Lord wins the 1v1 duel against Fluffyon for all the honor and glory there. I love both of them just committing to that fight. No playing out. All the marbles on the line. In the end, Pajama Game Lord coming out on top.
Fuck it. Meet me in the middle of the ring, and huge jump from Dylan.
And in the end, they get taken out right after, Twin.
I got lightheaded right there. That was incredible.
The rush. We're all feeling the SUPERVIVE rush here as we're instantly down to 2 squads left in Game 6, Day 1 of the qualifiers. Removing the Battlegrounds, trying to jump Chris. Huge Dragon Staff Slam, Blinkstone, putting pressure out onto Squaw. Squaw actually done an insane job to kind of scrap together this endgame. We saw Yueko get a literal 1 HP train res.
I know, and how beautiful. And now GPS holding the storm, positioning. Squaw has to rotate in over the abyss. I like the E-plat right there from Dylan. Dylan's just such a playmaker. Has it. They do have one exotic on hand. And here it comes, the nuke, the freaking B-bomb, and the Wukong diving in. It all comes down to this.
Actually, such a massive tonk for the side of GPS there. Tadpole is going to get one in the end as they fall into the abyss, not able to get that E-plow at in time. Like, that fight was looking so good for Squaw there. They read the Dump Kiss engage perfectly, play around it, try to counter it, but it's not going to be enough with that tonk catching 2 for Tadpole. And now Dump Kiss looking to finish, finds the Blinkstone Slam onto Dylan. It's just going to be Yueko again on the Jewel, ults up, stalls it out for a second, and in the end, GPS find their victory. They take the W SUPERVIVE.